Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I think we're a little bit gonna wait. People are joining, and then we have a nice crowd so far. So please give us some few minutes and to wait. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this webinar. I hope you can hear me well. Thank you for joining the webinar organized by Shell in partnership with our sister company and partners, Potec. Myself, my name is Bassam Touma. I'm heading the business development and the business for Shell Global. And I have with me my colleague, also Eli Zaidan, who is the Chief Threat Intelligence Officer at Potec. And we're gonna discuss today's topic, which is evolved around brand and VIB identity protection, especially during this peculiar time, let's say, and dangerous times from health-wise and cybersecurity-wise. So thank you everybody for joining and welcome. Just a bit of an overview, a background view on Shell. For those who do not know us, we're a cybersecurity company based out of Europe, but we have an extensive reach in the Middle East and Africa mainly. We have a good presence in Nigeria and Kenya, and many of you here are from these countries, but also from Ghana, Algeria as well, and many others. So we have a strong focus on Africa, and I have also with me here on the video as well the CEO of Shell and MD of Shell, Yusuf Abillama, and our country manager in Nigeria, Walid Bouabsi, whom some of you know already. So Shell also has partnered with many, or let's say, different entities, and whom are also have a common shareholder. One of them being Telecel, a Pan-African telco operator, and Potec, as well as a sister company, whom Shell uses many of their software and tools to develop cybersecurity services. First Wave also being one of the leading cybersecurity public listed in Australia. So basically, Shell, as you know, have deployed a security operations center with managed by 24/7 cybersecurity analysts, but we also offer many technical and advisory services as such. We don't want to go into the different services. This is just to give you a background about Shell. The main topic is that we understand that during this unprecedented time, we are seeing a huge spike in cybersecurity attacks and techniques that are being developed lately. Since early April, we have seen in our SOC as well a huge spike, not only rise, but a spike in cybersecurity attacks, around 700% increase, which is, and it's continuing to increase, unfortunately, because this pandemic seems to last unexpected, and I think all kind of enterprise, all kind of individual, especially the most enterprises having online presence, the more digitized you are, the more you are prone or you are vulnerable to these kind of attacks. So this is all over the news. I'm not saying, I'm sure that you already know, and especially now that most of the companies have their employees working from home, which will expose even more the different vulnerabilities and will also attract more the attackers to infiltrate and destroy somehow either or impact different ways, organization, brands, as the topic of this discussion, and employees, especially C-level people and their identity. We've seen new type of attacks, new type of apps, new type of malware, even mobile apps that mimic or that's, let's say, that impersonate specific and pretend on doing specific applications. However, they are most likely trying to infiltrate people's information, trying to whatever the motives are. There might be different motives. Recently, we saw a huge campaign on the Red Cross, even asking definitely as a scam, definitely asking for money, for fighting the pandemic. However, it was detected as a spam by ours. So many campaigns are also being noticed. There are also modern attacks. Actually, I don't know, some of you might have seen this email before, where somebody will send you an email and actually referring to an old password that you have seen or that you have used sometimes before. And actually, my brother, one time, he's in a different industry. He called me from Dubai, asking me, somebody knows my password. How did they get it? This is an old password. I don't use it anymore, but how did they get this information? So if you have received this email or if you know about what I'm talking, I'm sure you have some questions. So, okay, how these attacks are happening, how these people are infiltrating our organization, how are they jeopardizing our brand, how are they jeopardizing our employees alike. So we're gonna talk more about all these issues we are facing and how they are impacting the different organization, their reputation, their online presence, and the identity of their employees, especially the C-level employees. I'm gonna let Eli now, my colleague, talk about more also different kind of, Zoom, let's say, was also being hit by a major brand reputation impacted. Its reputation as an organization recently, and this is just to give you an idea of how new attacks are being executed. So Eli, please, if you can share more insights on this topic as well, on this new type of attacks. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm really glad that you joined. And talking about the emails, in the last month, let's say, since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have received a surge in these emails with passwords. It was a classic attack 3 years ago, but right now it's exponentially growing. Everyone is receiving those emails with leaked passwords. Regarding Zoom, even, you can see the hack that was broadcasted everywhere, what we call cyber porn. It's about taking irrelevant vulnerability and then
like this name.
Yes, linking it to something that is not that critical. The 500,000 Zoom logins were not hacked on Zoom. They were previous passwords, like the one you received by email that someone hacked you, on third-party platforms, and hackers used these passwords to log into Zoom. So if you are on Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, that has been hacked 3 years ago, and you have the same password, they will use it to log into Zoom. So it's not Zoom's problem. In fact, it is the users, the end user problem using the same password. Even though we are using Zoom and you use it securely because we use passwords in Zoom for the meetings, also we can see all the fake domains that were created to target Zoom. This means that now attackers are not only targeting your enterprise or your personal data only. They are targeting the tools you use, the personal tools that we use. It's not your email, your server. It's Zoom, it is Teams, it is Hangouts. So it is whatever tool the company is using or the, let's say, target is using, they will try to get inside this tool.
So yeah, thanks, Eli, for sharing these insights from as a cyber threat intelligence officer. I mean, what Eli is saying, that continuous online monitoring is needed right now more than ever, because people are, I mean, malicious users or malicious actors are using any pretext, you know, to try to hijack information or try to benefit from this actual, you know, health issue worldwide to try to have some gain from it. So what we as Shell, and with the support of our partners and sister company, we develop our tools and we develop our methodology and our service having the hacker mindset in mind. So we actually act like hackers, and we take the same journey that hackers do in order to be the good guys and to protect organization and to protect individual reputation and online presence. So a hacker journey evolves around 5, you know, phases or 5 steps. The first step a hacker will start with is always to do some reconnaissance and weaponization, we call it this, where they will gather the most data they can get about different targets. And then they start planning their attack according to whatever information they were able to get. Unfortunately, the internet is very open nowadays, and people are using, you know, we talk a lot about shadow IT, maybe that different IT or different tools that employees are using online, using their different credentials online to facilitate their work without the knowledge of IT, etc. So all these information are somehow on the internet, and mostly there is a dangerous part of the internet. We call it the dark web. I'm sure many of you are familiar about the dark web, but the dark web has content and has a lot of information being hidden and being traded for illicit and malicious actors to be used. So I think, Eli, here, if you can highlight the different steps and where the brand protection and online reputation can work, and how we can support, you know, the organization usually.
Yeah, of course. So as we said, the hackers, before attacking you, they will try the easiest way in. So the hacker will not try to get into your company without doing some research about the weakest link. If the weakest link is a password that was hacked, they will use it against you. If the weakest link is an email or an article or a video or a photo that was leaked, they will use it also against you. So they will do all their research before even attacking your environment or your devices. Other than that, we have what we call weaponization. They will try to craft the weapons against you. So what Darkivore will do, it will automate these steps. Instead of the hacker doing them and attacking you, Darkivore will simulate this, let's say, kinds of attacks. It's not even an attack, this research, to show you how much you are exposed. It will show you the real threats that might affect you in the near future. It might be, let's say, a fake domain that was created in your name. Your domain name is test.com. They created test1.com. So when it is created, Darkivore will notify you, will tell you a fake domain was created in your name. Be vigilant. You might receive email attacks, or filter this new domain or report it. So it is predicting that an attack might be prepared beforehand.
So continuing further, thanks, Eli, for your insights. New attacks and new vectors of attacks, as Eli, we call them vector of attack vectors, are surfacing, especially that now most of the people are working from home. Even C-level people, I'm sure that there are some few executives, directors that are not really IT aware. They are working from home and they are using different tools to access the corporate resources, sensitive data, etc. So new attack vectors are happening. And Eli, if you can go through this little bit, the different scenarios of the new attack vectors and how hackers are using them. Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Before, when we said recon and weaponization, we used to talk about your email servers, your web servers. Now with the COVID-19, you have your users using their own laptops. So they are using maybe social media on their own or enterprise laptop because they are at home. Or you are using collaboration tools like, let's say, Slack or Teams or WhatsApp. So the attacker has new vectors to attack you. It is not relying on your tools anymore. It is relying right now on even, let's say, commercial tools that you might.
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Okay. I think we lost Eli here.
Hello.
Eli,
Hello.
can you hear
yes.
us?
Yes. Now you can hear me now.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Okay. So when we talk about video conferencing, of course, you are not developing your own video conferencing platform. You are using something new. And now with the classic phishing, instead of targeting your platforms, they can phish you for, let's say, a new Zoom link or a new Team link or a new Hangouts link. So they have numerous scenarios to attack you again. Or let's say now with the COVID, they will tell you this is the legitimate website to check the new cases in your country. So now with the COVID and everyone is at home, there will.
So I think Eli also is facing some difficulties in his connection. So basically, what Eli was saying is that currently, the different uses of the different phishing attacks happening is that attacker, once they collected the different information from the reconnaissance phase, they are able to gather information, especially passwords, and or maybe create some phishing websites and redirect the victims to this website in order to grab his credential if he's not able to find them somewhere on the dark web, on the internet, and use it against the legitimate website. We also,
yes.
This is, Eli, are you back?
Yes. That's what we talked about before. That's what happened with Zoom. They will collect all your previous passwords on third-party platforms and then try them on every possible login page. So let's say a year ago, they used to take your password, try it on your email, on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter. Right now, they have endless applications to try these passwords that they retrieved a year ago or 2 months ago on numerous platforms. Now the company is not only using its own software, it is using third-party applications, and now the attacker has numerous targets to try his luck. This is like playing the lottery. He's trying everywhere to log in. So here we can see the new space of the end user. The attacker can attack his private workstation. He can attack his mobile phone. Of course, now everyone is going with mobility. So if you download a new application and you download a new game, the game might be an attack vector. And since you're working from home, the enterprise security or the InfoSec or the IT security team at your company cannot protect your own router at home. So they will use VPNs. And maybe your router was attacked, even if you use VPNs. We had a case 2 days ago, Nintendo was hacked, jeopardizing mobile phones, laptops, and the Nintendo itself. And unfortunately, one of the family members used his personal laptop to log in into his enterprise email. He needed that with MFA, since someone mentioned MFA, and his laptop was compromised from Nintendo. Exactly. Imagine that.
We're seeing a lot of questions, on.
Yes.
We'll try to answer most of the questions on the Q&A at the last of this session. However, any non-answered question, we will answer to you by email, definitely, and we'll reply to everyone. So interestingly, how it relates to brand protection. As you may know, Zoom has suffered a lot of bad reputation, or let's say bad advertising, when they mentioned that a lot of credentials were stolen, where actually it wasn't the credentials of Zoom, it was credentials found on the dark web in different lists and leaked passwords, but they used Zoom as a scapegoat. So basically, the reputation is very important currently, and to help you protect your reputation, you have to ask yourself some few questions. Do you know how much of your company data is leaked on the internet? Can you answer this? You have to be honest with yourself. Do you think you know how much of your credentials, user credentials, are exposed on the internet? Have you ever been faced with a phishing attack? And how if you have received sometimes phishing emails and you detected them as phishing, did you ever question yourself how these people or these attackers got the list of your employees' email addresses? How do you prevent? Do you know that you can prevent a potential attack before even it happens? And eventually, do you know, or is you as a company or as an individual, do you know how much of your social media is being covered, and where is your footprint around the different social media platforms? If you answer no to any of these questions, then you definitely need to have a certain kind of a service around brand and identity protection. Why? Because at the end of the day, the internet is now an extension of your organization, and yourself as well. Facebook is an extension of your social life. Instagram is an extension of your social life, of your family even. LinkedIn is an extension of your professional organization and of your professional life as well. So the internet is an extension. And there is a part of the internet, we call it the dark web, where it is non-browsable and non-accessible normally through normal browsers. And you need special tools and special network to access the dark web. There is a lot of information about you that you don't know. And this is what is about the brand and online identity protection, is for us to tell you or to let you know what you already don't know. So by using the Darkivore, which is developed by our sister company, we are able to scavenge and scrap 3 million what we call web onions, which are the links that are available on top of the Tor network to be able to access the dark web. We have more than 25 billion plus leaked passwords already with us. So the people who said that 500,000 passwords have been stolen, well, we have 25 billion passwords as a company. And most probably some of the passwords that you have used, you attendees now, we might have these passwords. We don't have them to use them, but we already are, what we are doing is what Yahoo did like in the 90s. They somehow indexed the internet. What we are doing is that we are indexing the dark web. So this is what actually the tool does, and this is what our cyber analysts do. The tool will scavenge the dark web, and we will analyze the content that are relevant to your organization, to you as an individual, if you want to protect your online identity. Also, we have what we call honeypots, which are the deceiving system that we display all over the world. We have 200 plus honeypots that we gather different attackers there to be able to take the digital footprints, understand their motives, or even deceiving them into instead of attacking the actual target, attacking a fake target. And we curate all this information with what we apply on top using the Darkivore tool, machine learning mechanism. So a brand and online identity protection basically is have different modules, okay? First of all, you need to identify your threats. That's why the questions need to be asked. How much do I know as a person? How much do I know as an organization? I'm responsible, if I'm a person responsible on behalf of my company for the information security, how much do I know about the different threats available there? What kind of intelligence about if I can get from these classification of threats? So threat intelligence is important. Having a holistic view to be alerted in case something has been leaked. We will show you some example now. And having control over my data flow, we call it south-north flow of data going out to the internet. So having such control also is important. Also for forensic investigation. So in case, God forbid, there was an incident, okay, by using some data that has been leaked, how can I investigate properly and understand what we call the root cause of this incident? So these are the modules that we can talk about. Some monitoring and reporting and dashboard, just to give you an example of some sanitized view. This is like a threat collection that we can pull from our service and our software. We are able to trace leaked conversation, documents, and emails available on the surface web and on the dark web and the deep web as well. We are able to get different threat collection example of email lists that are available as a trading list for attackers. So we know that if we have a specific list of emails for you of your organization, we will know that you might be susceptible to a targeted phishing attack, etc. So this is some kind. We are able to do what we call, mentioned it, cyber squatting, which is to identify what kind of domains that might attackers create that will badly impact your brand and your reputation as an organization. For example, somebody has abcbank.com, somebody will create a new domain called abcbank1.com and try to deceive users and customers, etc. So we are able to monitor all that. We are able to monitor, if you're in the financial industry, different card information that might be leaked on the dark web as well. We are able to gather also leaked information unintentionally by employees on LinkedIn, their CVs, highlighting different technologies used in the enterprise. We are able to also monitor different forums, different social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, looking for any sign of threat onto your organization, and this is done in real time. Even we are able to monitor piece of codes and source codes that are that has some kind of exposures of your credential or of any sensitive information. To name a few of the forums are GitHub and so forth. We are even able to scavenge and scrap the whole forums, the different forums available where your company or your organization or you as an individual have been mentioned. So we are there, we are acting similar to any search engine to scavenge the whole internet to try to pull any threats affecting you as a brand and as an organization. So that's it for this presentation. I think we have some few minutes or something left to go for a quick demo on what we're talking about. And I think Eli will be sharing now his screen to project some of the features of the software. So Eli, back to you. Hello.
Guys, just a second so I can share my screen. All right. So I'm going to show you how the results are shown and how we create a scan. However, we did this test on a random domain. It was not an actual real domain, not to affect anyone or anything. Okay. So just 1 second so I can share it. Guys, you can hear me? You can hear me, guys? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Eli. Everybody.
Okay. Can you see the screen right now?
Yes, we can, Eli.
Okay, guys. Great. So what we did here, we ran a scan on the domain test.com. All right. So after we ran the scan, we can see that we have numerous results ranging from repositories. You can see password dumps related to people using test.com. Okay, you can see the different passwords. We have 4 out of 500 are shown here. And you can see here as well the similar domains. What is similar domains? We will look up here anyone who is trying to impersonate you. Okay. What we mean here is when you have a domain abc.com, the thing is, hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Eli.
Yes, okay, great. So the thing is, someone will try to pretend that he is abc.com by creating a similar domain called abc.co or abc or acb.com. Another thing, like when we said before in the dark web, you can see here that we have numerous documents that are shown on relatively, you see here, there's a Tor link. So this is a dark web link that is exposing maybe documents related to test.com or stolen emails and stolen conversations on the dark web. Of course, we can see if someone is creating subdomains or has access to your DNS provider. We will look also, like we said, not only in the deep and dark web, we will look also in the surface web if there's someone writing articles about you, if it's on WikiLeaks or on Twitter or on Facebook or on different social media platforms. All right. So this is the interface of launching a scan to create, let's say, a new scan. All right. So I'm going to go back to scans. I'm going to add a new scan. So here you can, if you have already your name, okay, test, let's say .com45, okay, you will have predefined sets of keywords to use it to search for leaks. You can put IBAN numbers that are related to your company, or put domain names or customer names, or you can put even your VIP or your executive people's name. All right, or you can put the beginning of the credit card that you are using to see if your company's credit card have been hacked. Or you can put also domain, what we call domain content. You have a certain page that you want to monitor. We had a case where an e-banking platform was being copied in another site, another server, another country. Someone was copying the same website and the same server to lure the bank customers to log in there. What does that mean? Usually banks say, we will protect our customers, but can I protect my customer if someone sends him a fake link? How the bank is going to protect their customers if someone sends him a fake link? This is how you protect them. You can look if someone is pretending to be you or using your pictures, your content online. So it is as simple as that. So I'm going to, of course, I'm not going to pick a customer, a real customer, not to show confidential data. I'm gonna stick to, I'm gonna say test.com, test.com. Okay, just to let us see. No, I'm gonna just show a scan on the domain name. I'm not gonna go through all the different details, not to waste time. And you, of course, you have seen the results before. We're gonna show you how fast it is to create the results. You can see here test.com. You can see here there are empty results right now. You can see it's empty. It's just 2 seconds. By refreshing, we already received some extra results. These are password dumps and similar domain names. Refreshing again, the results went higher. So if we keep Darkivore for more than an hour, it will research again and again. Of course, we indexed some instances in the dark web, some forums, most of the marketplaces that are known on the dark web. But Darkivore is always searching beyond what he has. So everything you see here is indexed, and then yes.
Just you know, I'm sorry to interrupt you because there are so many questions.
Okay.
We need to answer some few of them. Just because of the deployment methodology of the tool, we can work it out, you know, separately with you directly, the one who raised this question. There is a cloud version. We can also, it's part of our SOC service. So basically our SOC service, we can offer this as a bundled service for the SOC. We can integrate even that with SIEM. As we mentioned, the tool has integration and REST APIs integration with different SOCs if you're already running your own SOC. And we also can deploy it on-prem. We can discuss about this individually with you. So the mechanism, etc. Also, I have some few questions regarding the dark web. You know, some people are asking how the dark web exists and why it exists and why there is also, you know, and this is important also to clarify what is the dark web here, Eli. If we can highlight a little bit how we are accessing the dark web and why the dark web is so scary.
Of course.
You know.
I'm going to show you some secrets, guys. I'm going to show you the actions, how we are browsing the dark web. So the dark web, to define it, we have what we call the surface web. It is when you create a website, you are letting Google and Bing and Yahoo search for your website. It's an indexed internet. So everyone is looking to be public, to be known on the internet. So he is indexed on Google. It is searchable. Okay, this is the surface web. The deep web is not necessarily a bad place to be. The deep web is when you create a VPN portal or a portal for your employees. You don't want it to be indexed on Google. It is not searchable. The domain is barely known. This is the deep web. Okay, so the deep web might be private companies' data, might be forgotten servers. So what we do is we research on the deep web if there is a forgotten record with your IPs in it, or with your pictures in it, or with your files in it.
Or maybe any shadow IT also that you have disregarded for some time, and application, and you know, for some large organization, they tend to have that, and this has caused a lot of threats and problematic for everybody. So also this is related to the deep web. Now, the topic was just the dark web, which is
so we take it to the dark web. The dark web is a non-indexed, first of all, is non-searchable. The domains, as you can see, when I showed you the scans and in the presentation, the domains are not readable. They are not humanly readable. They are random address for no one to search them. So if you have a link on the dark web, someone gave it to you. It's not that you will search it, okay? Next thing, the dark web, it is not accessible through normal browsers. You have to have a Tor browser that will get your, let's say, traffic from your country to Europe, then to Asia, then let's say to another country through different tunnels for you to access the website. It's like 4 VPNs all together working to access a site. So the dark web is, first of all, not indexed.
And yeah, let me represent it. Have you watched the movie The Matrix? So it's basically the surface web is where everything is nice and funny and life as normal. And the dark web is a matrix, the world where you need to have specific access or specific mechanism to access it, and where things, you know, mainly it is where malicious actors are found there, and malicious behaviors are, you know, executed there. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah. I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen to show you a Tor browser and to access one of the links that we have found in our previous scan. So our previous scan had this one. Yes, we had dark web links, if you remember in the previous scan, it was there. Yes. So I take this link. As you can see, this is a browser. I'm gonna share the Tor browser just for you to see it. This is the Tor browser. You can see it. Okay, great. So I'm logging here into this site that pretended to have data. You can see the domain. It is not really readable, okay? And you can see that he is showing us, the site is showing us that I have numerous files. I have backup files about you. I have HTML files about you. I have CSV files about you. Pay me to give you this data. So what we're gonna do here, okay, we know that someone is selling this data, so we will tell you, let's search on your online live servers if you had forgotten something. For example, here, I'm gonna take this link. Someone is pretending to have, let's say, your conversations. So also, I'm gonna take the other link that we had found, and we're gonna see if this site has contacts. So they show us in a masked way that we have these conversations. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cross-match these results with your emails to see if this is an old user or if already we know its password was hacked. Maybe this let's say, marketplace is pretending to have passwords that you already know. Like we showed you, let's say, the breached password on test.com, and he's selling it again to me. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna see that I have this already. Don't try to scam me this way, okay? So this is how the dark web works. And how did we find out about this link? So we have our crawlers that will go through chat rooms, through forums, through different entities to search for extra links and jumping from a link to another, and indexing them. So I'm going to show you one of the insights of the engine.
Meanwhile, somebody is asking about, and it's an important question, about takedowns. You know, we faced a lot of these kind of, issues already with our clients, because as I mentioned, we are offering part of our SOC service, and also we are offering as a service on a standalone service. And if we can talk about the takedown service.
Yes, of course. So in the takedown service, we have 3 different categories. The first one is someone posted or created a fake domain and a fake page in your name. We will report it to the hosting company, and we follow up technically with the hosting company. Usually we have a success ratio that is really nice with the major hosting companies, ranging from DreamHost to GoDaddy to Azure to AWS to Google, if someone is creating a website in your name. When it comes
just to remind everybody that Shelt and Potek, we're a service company, but we develop our own tools with the support of Potek, because we tend to see our clients as partners. So mostly we really provide most of our offering are service oriented. So how can we help you here is we can discuss with you offline on a different session. And actually, I'm glad that this topic has been raised, because we're conducting a series of webinars on the SOC service and how an MSSP can help in all these services, from threat intelligence, reputational analysis, and protection, and also managing different threats, internal and external. So these kind of topics, we will discuss them in future webinar. Thank you.
Okay. I continue with the takedown, Bassam, or not?
Yes, please.
Yes. So the next category of takedown is a bit harder. Someone posted an article about you on a very known website. Okay. So what we're gonna do here, this is really hard for us to take down this known website. Someone posted an article on a known, let's say, journal or magazine. We're gonna report it, of course, but will they cooperate? We don't know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna diffuse, what we call diffusion. We're gonna let this content be, let's say, masked with other search results when someone is trying to search for you. So if someone posted, let's say, comment on Facebook or a post on Twitter, and it's not removed by Twitter for, let's say, freedom of speech, or let's say it is not removed because it is they are not cooperating, we will diffuse other links and other posts on Twitter. So by the time we take down this tweet, we can, let's say, overshadow this content. And the third technique is when it is a blacklisted server. It is not a good server. It is somewhere with a bad reputation. We have, let's say, a legal cover to take down, if it's a blacklisted provider, to help authorities take it down and work with authorities. So we will help you legally, we will help you technically, and if we have confirmation from the legal authorities about the gravity of this data, or if it's a dark web site, we can cooperate with legal authorities to take down technically, or let's say conduct takeover over this website. But usually, let's say if it's a hosting company, they are always cooperating when it's someone pretending to be you. When it is social media, they are really cooperative when it comes to bad or let's say
Eli, just we have a question, I think also from Tundi, because we're close to wrap up on this time. So I don't know if somebody has somebody now. Our Suhair is telling me that Mr. Tundi, Dr. Tundi, you have a question? Hello? Anyway, so I got this message now. Anyway, sorry, Eli, to interrupt. So because we're about to, close this webinar. So anything else we can see the different aspect of the tool?
Yeah, so I'm showing here how we are parsing this unindexed and dark web. We have little bots that will pseudo-automatically, I'm saying pseudo-automatically because we rely on machine learning, but there is always manual curation. If I'm crawling a dark website, they will know that we are bots. It is built by hackers. It is built by bad people. So what we will do, we will pseudo-automate these crawlers to mimic a user behavior. So you can see our analyst will not write code to download or index this site. He will drag and drop directly modules in order to parse this site. What's gonna do the analyst? He will see that this site is using, let's say, Apache Solr technology to fetch documents. So he's gonna drag and drop this technology to parse this website. He's gonna see that, it's not indexed like on Google. We don't know if it's contact us or let's say home, or let's say features or services or pay. So we have what we call a context parser that is based on machine learning. It will categorize. We don't pretend to have AI. AI is a big word and it is oversold in cybersecurity. I'm gonna say machine learning that will classify this link. Is it drugs? Is it weapons? Is it data? Is it a virus? So if it's weapons, we're not searching for this. We're not searching for this. We're searching for leaks, data leaks. So this contextual parser will tell us that this site has leaks and passwords and will give us a notification. So you can see our analyst will directly drag and drop in order to launch this parsing. It is not fully automated. No one can fully automate the dark web. It is not like a normal website that is calling you to check him.
Okay, this is Youssef speaking. We have here also two questions, I think, that are worth answering. One is, do you provide POC on dark keyboard to test its capability? And the other one is somebody that was interested in the VIP monitoring only. So maybe Bassam already, you can answer?
Yeah, of course. I mean, part of this service is, of course, intended to enterprise and organization, but a lot of, high valuable people or MVPs and VIPs would like to request this service as a separate service because their reputation is key and it's one of their, if not their most important assets. So we can use this service exactly to provide it to individuals and we will continuously use our cybersecurity analysts and our analysts to always identify threats and you know what can be described as bad reputation over the surface web, the social media networks, etc., and the dark web as well, that might affect them in a negative way.
Yes, adding to Bassam, like you saw in Darkivore, we have domains, credit cards, and what we call names or keywords. And in the presentation, we noted that we will search for key personnel, chief executives, managers, team leaders in the company, searching for their data. So what applies to a company applies to you. Of course, sometimes we have CEOs giving us their personal email in Darkivore within their company to search if someone is targeting them directly. So yes, we support personal cases and personal VIP. And of course, like we said, it can be automated or through a service. We brief you on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis through a subscription, and we help you with the takedown.
I think that's it for me and Eli. Thank you, everybody. If there is no more questions, I think there are a few questions, but we'll reply to everyone, of course, and we will share all the materials, the presentation with you. Thank you for your time, valuable time, and allowing us to present. And as I said, we have a series of webinars around cybersecurity as well, involving other services of Shell and other softwares and tools that are as interesting as this one. I hope you had benefited from the information we shared with you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and we will answer all your questions. A lot of them are quite insightful. Thank you for everybody.
Yes, you will receive in 3 days a follow-up email. We'll try to have the recording, the presentation, and there will be a survey. We appreciate if you can take the survey so that we can understand better your needs. Thank you for being with us.